Brother, I'm telling the Bible is Wiggins, be quiet, brother. You was on mute this whole time until I got to talking. A hit dog will holler. And that's what we hear. An old mutt hollering because this don't get hit by a car. Let me finish. Listen. You put the hound dog. Can you be quiet? Listen, the region is there. The region is in the Bible. Now, wait a minute. Let me finish. Why are you talking? You can get your turn. Listen, brother. East Africa and North Africa is there. Truth is in North Africa. Libya is North Africa. Do you know your direction? No, you are ignorant. You are ignorant, brother. North Africa's in the Bible. That region is there.
So is West Africa.
No, it is not. You can't find one scripture of West Africa in there.
You want to bet some money that
I will bet. Absolutely, I will. Absolutely.
We're betting that the region
whatever you want to put on the line,
I want to make sure I got you right.
West Africa, go find West Africa in the Bible.
No.
Go find it.
I know, I'm not
arguing. Go find a city. No, brother, listen, you're wasting our time. You're wasting our time. If you got to be crazy to think anywhere in West Africa is in the Bible, because it's not. You talking to somebody who studied it out. So please be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about.
Of West Africa. Hold on, man. Come on,
oh my God, boy.
I want to make sure I know what I'm betting. Your claim is that the region of your claim is that the region in West Africa beyond the rivers of Ethiopia is not in the Bible.
No, the regions. It told you what that lake is and where it starts off at. That is not West Africa. That is not West Africa. That's East Africa. Let me, because it's my turn to talk to YIRMEYAHVS. Why are you involved if I'm talking to YIRMEYAHVS? Listen, and I still back.
Are you taking the bet back? Are you?
No.
Okay, then let's bet. I got $100 this region in the Bible, nigga. What's up?
Go get it, Wiggins.
That's why I'm talking. Who we sending the money to?
Put it in the cash app. Show me West Africa.
Wait, I got you. How do I put
all right, now get on out of the way. Go get your money together.
No, I thought we bet.
Go get your money.
Hey, Wiggins.
I don't have no problem.
Wait a minute, nigga.
Mr. Wiggins.
You say why I'm talking. I'm gonna bet you.
I already don't place the bet.
Hold on, nigga. Stop talking.
Oh my God.
Mr. Wiggins.
Are we betting? I guess we ain't betting it.
I told you, yeah. Yes.
Okay, then what's the cash app? What's the cash app?
Somebody
put that cash app back there. I want to bet this nigga.
All right, Mr. Wiggins. Let me start the premise real quick, man. I'm gonna check you. I'm gonna check you in a minute, Mr. Wiggins. All right, so let's reinstate what's the argument. We're arguing about the DNA. Does it tell your
Africa, not in the
Does
Bible.
it tell your
the
truth?
Argument, man. Carlos is arguing that the region of West Africa. That's what we should talk about. That's the bet. He nigga making a claim and don't want me to say nothing.
Put it on the side.
Is that the same? All right, we got that. But with YIRMEYAHVS and Mr. Wiggins, it's talking about the DNA test. Does that prove, is that an identifier for nationality? Because Carlos simply disagreed with the Hebrew Israelites, claiming that we are Hebrew Israelites based off the white man's DNA. And YIRMEYAHVS is showing that the DNA is not factual, actual, or anything, and we got the anthropology to prove it. So let's get back to that understanding about what's going on. We got Pastor Carlos and we got YIRMEYAHVS. Please say to y'all.
No, that's before you ran your mouth and said the region of West Africa is not in the Bible, but I can prove it.
I hit dog a holler.
Hey, YIRMEYAHVS, you there?
I can prove that too. Yeah, I'm here to bet on that. You
All
want
right.
to prove that America not in the Bible? The region of America not in the Bible?
Mr. Wiggins, hold on, Mr. Wiggins. Please, Bubba Control. Listen to me, Mr. Wiggins. Please let them go.
I'm
Let them go
gonna have to
again.
get Wiggs off to himself and bust his head. He only does
All
this
right.
when everybody's
And then we're gonna do that Wiggins thing too.
From bet, man. You tripping.
So thank you, Maharakai, for putting a muzzle on that old hound that was doing all that
yapping.
My
name, nigga, unless you want to bet.
I told you to bet. You know I ain't gonna back down from it.
All right. So can we establish your point? Your point in a minute. And I want to reestablish what is y'all what is the
So here's my whole point. Here's my point, Maharakai. There's nothing in the Bible that points to West Africa. Now, I don't deny history that a few Jews went into West Africa.
What happened to the audio? St. Thomas, and they went to Brazil. So if you want to look for the descendants, that's where you look for them. You're not going to look for them in America because they was already being taken in the slave trade in the first few hundred years, gone. By the time the slave came to the USA, you would have seen nothing but dust, if any. That's my whole point. So when people are saying that, because West Africans, some Jews went in there, it wasn't no whole bunch of Jews that was in West Africa, and history tells you that. So when somebody just says, I'm an Israelite, what is your proof? You don't have the language. You don't have the culture. You don't have the migration. You have nothing to prove.
Hold on, Carlos, you're moving the goalposts. This is not about proving you are an Israelite. This is about,
it is.
Hold on, bro. This is about whether or not DNA is reliable. That's what this conversation is about.
For what purpose? Because there's DNA that solves crimes.
Race and ethnicity.
Okay. So YIRMEYAHVS.
This ain't got nothing to do with DNA solving crime or whether or not you are the father.
Yeah, it does all
Murray Povich show. It ain't got nothing to do with none of that. This is whether or not DNA is reliable for race and ethnicity.
Right.
That's what this is about.
Should we use DNA as an identifier concerning nationality?
Can you use it for region to show that you've ever been in that area? That's the purpose.
No.
The purpose of DNA will tell you, we will locate what area that your genome show up in. If it doesn't show up in that area, I ain't never seen my genome show up in China because it's not in there.
All right, so we're gonna prove that you cannot trust any area, identify an area that you are from. You cannot do that. All right, I got evidence to say you cannot do that. I want to play the video to prove it.
Yeah, can we play the video, YIRMEYAH?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready, Carlos?
Cool. Let me know. Let me know if you're ready, brother. I wanna make sure.
And I'm gonna put this in the back. I'm gonna put this in the back chat.
This is a 6-minute video. We're gonna check it out.
You gonna put it? You gonna share screen it?
Yeah.
All right, but when you press play, let me know when you press the play on 1, 2, 3 or something like that, bro. Please.
All right. 1, 2.
Hold on. Wait. Give me a second. Hold on. Go ahead, do it. Count down.
1, 2, 3.
Two sisters take the same DNA test. The results show that one sister is 10% French, the other 0%. Both sisters share the same two parents and therefore the same set of ancestors. So how can one be 10% more French than the other? Tests like these rely on our DNA to answer questions about our ancestry. But our DNA actually can't tell us everything about who we are or where we're from. DNA tests are great at answering some questions, like who your parents are, but can provide baffling results to others, like whether you have ancestors from a particular region. To understand why, it helps to know where our DNA comes from in the first place. Each person's DNA consists of about 6 billion base pairs stored in 23 pairs of chromosomes, 46 total. That may seem like a dizzying amount of information, but 99% of our genome is shared among all humans. The remaining 1% contains everything distinct about an individual's ancestry. Commercial DNA tests utilize less than 1% of that 1%. One chromosome in each pair comes from each parent. These halves join at conception when a sperm and egg, each with only 23 chromosomes, combine. The story of our ancestry becomes muddled before conception. That's because the 23 chromosomes in a sperm or egg aren't identical to the chromosomes of every other cell in the body. As they go from a cell with 46 chromosomes to a sex cell with only 23, the chromosomes within each pair swap some sections. This process is called recombination, and it means that every sperm or egg contains single chromosomes that are a unique mashup of each pair. Recombination occurs uniquely in each sex cell, making two sisters' chromosomes different not only from their parents, but from each other's. Recombination happens before conception, so you get exactly half of your DNA from each parent. But going further back, things get more complicated. Without recombination, you would get a quarter from each grandparent, an eighth from each great-grandparent, and so on. But because recombination happens every generation, those numbers vary. The more generations removed an ancestor is, the more likely they won't be represented in your DNA at all. For example, without recombination, just 1/64th of your DNA would come from each ancestor 6 generations back. Because of recombination, that number can be higher, though we don't know for sure how high. Or it can be as low as 0. So one sister isn't more French in the sense of having more ancestors from France. Instead, the French ancestors are simply more represented in her DNA. But the story doesn't end there. The tests don't trace the DNA of the sisters' actual French ancestors. We don't have access to the genomes of deceased individuals from previous generations. Instead, these results are based on a comparison to the DNA of people living in France today. The tests look for genetic markers or combinations of genetic markers. These markers are short sequences that appear in specific places. The sister deemed more French shares genetic markers with people currently living in France. The assumption is that these shared markers indicate ancestors from the same place, France. It's important to note that results are based on people who've had their genomes sequenced, 80 to 90% of which are of European descent. Many indigenous peoples are barely represented, if at all. The test won't reveal heritage from people not represented in the database and shouldn't be used to prove race or ethnicity. And as more people get sequenced, your results might change. Looking further back, you may get a result like 2% Neanderthal. Though Neanderthals were a separate species from humans, that 2% doesn't come out of the 99% of our genome shared among all humans, but the 1% that varies. That's because about 40,000 years ago, certain human populations interbred with Neanderthals, meaning some people alive today have Neanderthal ancestors. Many Neanderthal ancestors, in fact. There are so many generations in 40,000 years that a single Neanderthal's genetic contribution would be untraceable. You can be both 100% French and 2% Neanderthal. Though both come from the 1% of DNA that makes us different, they're accounting for different things. Looking for traces of our ancestry in our DNA gets complicated very quickly. Both the way we inherit DNA and the information available for testing makes it difficult to say certain things with 100% certainty. When you think of the discovery of DNA, you probably think of two names, Watson and Crick, but there is a third, unsung scientist whose name you should know. Get the story of the woman behind the double helix with this video.
DNA, it's difficult to use it to find out your
ancestors. Okay, now, all of those are true. But what I am simply saying is this: show that even in the general population, because when they get to testing people, enough people get tested in that general population. If your genomes only go back and in those sequences, they break that all down scientifically. In each area, they break it all down. They're looking for something. So, for instance, if your DNA doesn't show China, neither does your brother, it's a good chance it's not there. Because somewhere it's going to pop up. And the reason why it popped up in one sister and not the other is because they got a mother and a father. Somebody took genes from this person and the other person didn't, because genes can skip. But
that's what we found out. Now, okay. My question still stands. The sister that don't have the French marker, is she also related to the French?
She is related. It just didn't pass on to her.
Hold on. So now if we have that same situation and somebody don't have a Levant marker, does that mean that it's possible for them to still be from the Levant?
No, Jeremiah.
Y'all see that?
No, listen, that? Because that's not how, listen, we're breaking down how DNA works. Just because sister, hold on, listen, Jeremiah, and then you'll get the clearer picture. One sister did not get it from one of her ancestors. The other did. It's no different than her color and eye color. Me and my brother don't have the same grade of hair. We got the same mom and dad.
No.
Listen,
hold on, brother. All I want to know is if it worked for the French, it also got to work in the Levant.
Okay, listen. Here's the issue. No, listen. This is what it's coming down to, Jeremiah. It's impossible, even if she didn't have that small percentage of French in her, the other sister did. Somebody's going to have it. Can't millions of people not have it and then say, we don't have it because it missed all of us. It don't work like that. Somebody's going to have it.
Yeah. So that's the point. So let's continue. Let's continue the video.
It ain't going to miss millions of people.
Hold on. That's why the video says you cannot use DNA for racial. Hey, Yirmeyah, before you started, can I ask Pastor Carlos one more question?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Pastor Carlos. After slavery, right, there was thousands of former slaves, enslaved, free Black people that relocated back to Africa. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Some of them left and went back.
So if it was tens of thousands that went back over there, wouldn't our DNA, let's just say hypothetically none of our DNA was there, and now you got tens of thousands of us going over to West Coast of Africa, wouldn't our DNA be over there? And when we take a test here, it'll say that we share markers with people that was over there, and it could be the very people that traveled from America over there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so why don't you hold that into accountability too when you talking about this whole little DNA little thing you got going
because
on?
Because I am holding that. And the reason why most African Americans cannot get away with that one is because of this. Listen to what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying you would find our markers there.
Yep, you would. Now, this is the problem. And this is something that I studied that Jeremiah knows nothing about, because he don't know nothing about this DNA. He just listened to a video. I've actually studied it. The problem is when they took Africans.
Taking the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
When they took Africans, and I recently found this out, majority of them that came from some of the other places. This is the reason why it's so messed up, is because majority of the men died. A bunch of men that they brought from certain places in Africa. I keep studying this DNA and genealogy. They died. They died when they got over here. But guess what? And this is an ugly truth. Most of the women had sex with the white men. That's a fact. Not only here in America, But it was real bad in Brazil. And in Brazil, they passed a law and said, there's too many dark-complected people here. We need to lighten it up. So they wanted the white men.
Well, DNA disproves that because we have a low percentage of white people in our DNA.
But see, that's not true.
It's only 29. Hold on, bro. It's less than 25%.
That's high, YIRMEYAHVS. That's high. That is high.
That's not high based upon you saying most of the black men died and it was just nothing.
Let me tell you the reason why that's high.
Yo, is this nigga saying that the majority of the slaves that came here are white people?
No. Listen to what I'm no. Listen to what I'm saying, so you can get it straight. And this might explain.
So you're saying that the women was getting pregnant and the men was dying. That's what you're saying.
Yes. Now,
so that means that the people, so that means that the women that made it here, they made it here because they were carrying white babies.
Correct, which would be mixed babies. Now,
that's crazy.
That nigga crazy.
And he'll say anything. Too.
Hold on. No. This is what has been proven.
Hold on. We actually have the time of the boom of the mulatto. Okay. We know when the boom of the mulatto happened, bro. What you saying is not true. It's not,
absolutely
hold on,
true.
Brother. It's not as high as you're trying to make it sound.
Hear me out.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
All right, and I'm going to throw this caveat at you, and you'll understand it a lot better.
Hold on, brother. I'm not saying that men didn't die, but it's not the high percentage that you trying to make it sound like, brother.
In Brazil, with some of the tribes, it was, brother.
It's not, bro.
It is, and I'm gonna go pull it up. I'm gonna go pull it up.
Video, man. I don't want to hear your nonsense, bro. Let me
listen, bro.
Video. We got 2 minutes.
Hold on. Let me say
2 minutes left.
Okay, listen, YIRMEYAHVS. Let me say this.
I got 2 minutes left on.
All right, God, let me just throw this in. Let me just put this in. This would explain not just the mulattoes, YIRMEYAHVS. This explains a whole lot of stuff. This explains the reason why I hate to say it, maybe the reason why some of the sisters act the way that they do towards the black men, because this is what you're not understanding. The white man had the baby by the black woman. The woman had children, some boys, some girls. This continues to happen, and then later on, they populate, and some of the children from these mixed copulations end up getting together, and they keep getting together, and they keep getting together. So when you're looking at a lot of these black women were products of white men. And
all right, bro. All right, bro. Again, you're saying a lot.
A lot, YIRMEYAHVS.
No, it's not. It's not a lot because we have the census of the boom of the mulattoes.
This ain't just a boom of mulattoes.
Brother, hold on. And it's not the number that you're trying to make it sound like. Can I finish the video, please?
Yes, and I'm going to go pull up this information.
All right.
These markers are short sequences that appear in specific places. The sister deemed more French shares genetic markers with people currently living in France. The assumption is that these shared markers indicate ancestors from the same place, France. It's important to note that results are based on people who've had their genomes sequenced, 80 to 90% of which are of European descent. Many indigenous peoples are barely represented, if at all. The test won't reveal heritage from people not represented in the database and shouldn't be used to prove race or ethnicity.
Shouldn't work.
And as more people get sequenced, your results might change. Looking further back,
I want to magnify that again. DNA should not be used for race or ethnicity.
That's what I heard.
They always say that. That ain't nothing new.
They were.
All right, then, but you want us to go, you trying to force us to go take a DNA test to prove our race?
Sense, Carlos, if they always say that, why would you tell us that you were in that location, brother? Or is it if we're in that location? Ancient DNA will show if your genome was found in that location.
I didn't say anything about that. Let the video keep talking.
Ethnicity.
Let the video talk. Carlos is lying. Come on, nobody want to hear that shit. Let the video talk. You're going to cut your ass again.
many indigenous peoples are barely represented, if at all. The test won't reveal heritage from people not represented in the database and shouldn't be used to prove race or ethnicity. And as more people get sequenced, your results might change. Looking further back, you may get a result like 2% Neanderthal. Though Neanderthals were a separate species from humans, that 2% doesn't come out of the 99% of our genome shared among all humans, but the 1% that varies. That's because about 40,000 years ago, certain human populations interbred with Neanderthals, meaning some people alive today have Neanderthal ancestors. Many Neanderthal ancestors, in fact. There are so many generations in 40,000 years that a single Neanderthal's genetic contribution would be untraceable.
Untraceable.
You can be both 100% French and 2% Neanderthal. Though both come from the 1% of DNA that makes us different, they're accounting for different things. Looking for traces of our ancestry in our DNA gets complicated very quickly. Both the way we inherit DNA and the information available for testing makes it difficult to say certain things with 100% certainty.
Carlos.
When you think of the discovery of DNA, you probably think of two names, Watson and Crick. But there is a third, Unson.
And then a little bit that they come up. It's called noise.
Okay, now, so Pastor Carlos, do you understand what the DNA just said?
I understood that from the very beginning. YIRMEYAHVS has not told me anything new. Listen to my argument. The DNA test tell you that. The DNA test tell you that.
So it's not like this 1% is what is being tested out of our DNA, and we got still 99% of DNA that's not being tested, and we got ancestors.
Because the 1% pertains to all the information. 1% contains the information.
Ancestors who are not, and we have ancestors who are not a part of the gene pool.
Okay, like, the 1% is where the information is. You only need 1%.
Bro. Let me make a point. The DNA is not accurate because it left out people from the gene pool. How can you tell me it's totally accurate when you have conceded there are ancestors who have been left out of the gene pool? How is that accuracy for us to believe the DNA today that you're talking about, Carlos, as it relates to what you're trying to get into? Okay, so that part I'm trying to say, I mean, if it's telling you there's people that's left out, bro, then going forward, the model is wrong.
That's not true.
It got to be.
Well, we're testing here against the populations that have tested. The populations that have tested is who we're doing this with.
I don't care about that, man. Let me explain to you what you said you comprehend. Carlos, wait a minute. I'm giving you why I reject it right here off the muscle. The method is flawed. Okay? When we're talking about DNA and we're talking about carbon dating, it's flawed.
I got nothing to do with carbon dating.
One second. It's all in the same thing, though.
No, it ain't. We're not putting that ain't even on the table. Brother, that's not on the table.
1 second.
Can the brother go, Carlos? Man, you keep interrupting.
Yeah, but he needs to stay on subject.
Hey, if he's off subject, then let somebody else say he's off subject. He still can finish his point.
Because this nigga want to talk about DNA and you want to pretend like carbon dating ain't got nothing to do with this DNA piece.
Oh my God! I told you.
Let me tell you why. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Like right now, this nigga he won't let me get it out because he knows I got his head busted. But look at this.
No, because I never let you put it in.
Yo, pause, nigga, pause. What the fuck am I listening to? Yeah, what the hell is going on? Hey, YIRMEYAHVS, what you got me listening to? Yo, I'm gone, man. All right, we'll holler at you, man. But let me make this point, man. Yo, it's wild. So, niggas, learn how to not be so perverted.
Yeah, please.
Niggas is joking, man. Go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. Finish your point, man.
That's a perverted
now you going off subject.
Deal with a perverted nigga.
Come on, Wiggins, man. Chill out, man. We talking about what Carlos said, man. Go ahead, man.
I thought you talking about me.
See how you get in your feelings? That shit was mostly that. Come on, bro. He said, I wouldn't let you do it again.
We got 5
Whoa!
We got 5 niggas on the phone. Put a name on it. So here we are, man. I'm trying to get off the mic, man. So listen. So there's 2 views as we argue about DNA and where it comes from. Carlos said, "Oh no, I'm not trying to prove the ethnicity of the DNA. I just want to prove that you originated there." So I want to attack the argument that you just said, right, Carlos? You still stand by that, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so let me tell you why I brought up carbon dating. Because this argument that the J haplogroup started in Asia is not truly based on anthropology. It's not based on civilization. It's not based on anything historical records. It's not based on nothing except what, Carlos? Do you know? Do you know what it's based on?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's based
migration
on
pattern.
Dating.
No, it's based on carbon dating.
Bro. I just want to show you how your method is flawed. You want me to say, okay, go show that you originated in this area because the carbon dating, as we talk about the Jewish people, they also, with the J haplogroup, say that they originated in this particular region. But guess what, Carlos? That's not 100% fact. Some say, most scholars, a lot of scholars truly argue that J originated in Canaan, right? Based on the culture, based on the cranial, based on the burial mounds, the civilization. Okay, so I want to just throw that out there first. I don't think that when you say just show us the show me you belong over here, because some of this is mixed with carbon dating, even the DNA you're referring to. And I proved it to you with the J haplogroup. That's all the part I want to tell you. I don't agree with the whole method. That was the second one. And then the first that you said your method is 100% correct, and you left out some civilizations, or you left out some groups of people, or you left out some bloodlines, man. And then you made this model without those people. Then you made this DNA model without those people. I'm saying that's flawed. That's the only thing I gotta tell you. It don't work. I think it's a waste of time. I'm done.
All right, I'm glad. So we're not going to use DNA, correct?
Well, I'm just arguing. It's your argument. I'm just following you.
So let's do something with this information. I'm getting ready to read.
Wait, Carlos, give me 5 more seconds. 5 more seconds. Wait a minute. I didn't bring up none of the DNA. I just got bored into the DNA piece, right? So I'm only following your argument. But that is my rebuttal. Here's the last thing I wanted to mention. You know the word Niger? You said West Africa was not in the Bible. Like, I wanted to read something to you back in the 440 BC about this particular geographical location. Herodias, c. 440 BC, the first probable reference, though not by name in Histories book. The second, the record he records the account of Nationailty explorers who crossed the Sahara and reached a great river flowing west to east through the interior with the crocodiles in it. Herodias assumed it was the Upper Nile. Most modern scholars identify it as the Niger. So the river enters recorded history nearly 500 centuries before Christ, but anonymously. So, Carlos. The geographical location of the Nigris, where we come from, where they took us from, wasn't in the Bible. At what point? It wasn't in history. At what point? What are you talking about? I'm done. You would have lost that $100, nigga. You know it. Come back to the mic.
What you made one for Don. So I'm gonna read something. I'm just gonna read something, and I'm gonna get your take
But
on it.
then you admit you were wrong.
No, I'm not
You
gonna admit
said
that
it's
I'm
not in
wrong.
the Bible. You said it
No,
wasn't
no.
there, nigga. I done took
West
you all the way
Africa
back to
is not in the
1200
Bible.
BC. Hold on, nigga.
West
Stop lying.
Africa is not in the
I
Bible.
didn't say you said the geographical location, nigga, not one time.
It's not there.
Are you
It's
and I
not there.
arguing for the word West Africa?
No,
You made
none
it
of the
clear.
countries, none of the countries are represented in the Bible.
We
Listen
said
to what
the
I said.
geographical, Carlos, we said the geographical location. You said
It's
it
not
wasn't in the
there.
Bible.
It's not there.
You said it wasn't there. Hold on. No. I wasn't arguing for the term West Africa in the Bible.
I'm not either.
I told you North Africa wasn't in the Bible. So you know
Brother,
I'm not arguing for
those
the term
countries
West
are
Africa.
mentioned in the Bible.
Carlos, can I finish? You know I'm not arguing for the term West Africa as you trying to say. I was arguing with you for
I
West
know
Africa in the
that.
Bible.
Oh my God,
Hold
bro!
on,
I know
bro.
what the argument is.
Carlos, come on, man. Let me finish my point, man. Because you need to renounce and say you lied.
Nigga, you gotta be crazy as hell.
Statement, bro, stop. When you said that your statement was the geographical. I explicitly asked you, did you say geography? You said yes.
And
so
I'm still saying yes.
Bro, you did. Okay,
I said yes. What the hell is you talking about? I said yes.
Shut up and let me make my
nigga,
point,
you is
nigga.
Confused. You are
I'm not confused. Shut up, nigga. Why are you
shut
talking
up,
every time I say something, bro?
Nigga, you ain't gonna tell. Look, nigga, you shut up.
Why are you talking when I'm talking?
Because you keep saying something, nigga, you shut your ass up.
Nigga, ain't nobody talking like that on you, nigga. So why you doing all this talking?
Nigga, you ain't gonna tell. Nigga, I'm a grown ass man. I'm older than you.
Bro, shut up and let me finish.
Nigga, you shut up.
Hey. So the argument
What's going on in here, man?
Wait a minute. The bet was Carlos is doing this on purpose because the nigga don't want to say he wrong, man. That's the problem. That's the whole problem. I'm not lying on Carlos, and I'm not making up anything on Carlos at all.
You don't know what you're talking about.
The man said to me that the geographic location of West Africa was not in the Bible, was nowhere on the map during the time period we talking about. I go get this nigga information to prove to you the geographical location of the West Africa nigga was there in the 440 BC. And this nigga still won't say he wrong.
Show it in the Bible. Show it in the Bible. Show it in the Bible.
I just read to you, Carlos. Listen. I'm gonna read this to you again. I told you we're not arguing West Africa, Carlos.
No, I know what we're not arguing. I'm not slow.
But I said Pliny the Elder, 77 AD, the first appearance of the name, his natural history, book 5, names the river Nigris. It said describing it as separating the deserts from the land of the Ethiopians.
Is that in the Bible?
Wait,
is this in the Bible? Is this in the Bible? Is this in the Bible? Take me to the scripture.
Hold on. I tied it to the word Niger. Yeah, because I tied it to the word Niger.
This is the craziness I'm talking about.
Wait, I said Nigris. Did you know Nigris is tied to the word Niger? Do you accept that?
Show it to me in the Bible.
Niger, I'm saying Niger is in the Bible, Acts 13 and 1.
And that is a man. That is a man. That means a dark skin. That's a dark skinned man. No, brother. See how crazy you are?
That Niger's not tied to Nigris, Carlos.
No, brother. Listen, what I'm telling you. Not a man. A man called Niger, which is Latin, has nothing to do with West Africa. This is crazy.
Carlos, are you saying the word Niger in Acts 13 and 1 is not tied to Nigris? Yes or no? This is in the first century, 70.
Listen to what I am telling you.
I'm reading this to you, Carlos.
No, listen to what I am telling you.
No.
Listen to what I am telling you.
I don't want I want
you to answer my question. What and no, I'm not going to answer your question.
Carlos, listen. Pliny the Elder C, 77 AD. Listen, name his natural history book. Names the river Nigris, describing it. You said the geographical location. Nobody's there, no nothing, Carlos. I'm done, Carlos. If you're not gonna yield to historical research, my nigga, I'm done talking.
No. Because like I said, show it to me in the Bible.
Talking about the Bible. Niger. I'm showing you the word Niger in the Bible.
That word means dark, brother.
Hold on, man. If I could say something real quick, right?
YIRMEYAHVS, is the word Niger in the Bible
using Simon to say, brother, you crazy.
Carlos,
you are crazy.
Nigga, how come? I'm out of here.
Yeah, he needs to be out of here.
Yeah, so Carlos, man, look, the video said, and you admitted that it always tells you not to use DNA for race or ethnicity, correct?
Correct.
All right. So why are you trying to force us to get a DNA test?
Listen very closely. Location. Migration.
Location. Okay, so now let's deal with the
Location and
location.
migration.
Hold on. Let's deal with the location.
All
I
right, so
asked
and
you.
I'm glad Wiggins is gone because he was just interrupting with some crazy stuff. I'm serious because we're holding a conversation. That's what Wiggins was doing is called noise. So I'm glad we're back on track.
All right, so what I'm saying is, right. So with the example with the twin sisters, one having a DNA strand of French and the other don't have it. If we take that same situation with the Levant region, why are you saying that that person is not from the Levant?
Okay, so listen very closely. There's been millions of African Americans that have been tested. Somebody's going to have it. It ain't going to just become ghost from everybody. Somebody is going to have it. If your people was there and it's in your genome, somebody is going to pop up. It
The
ain't going to
problem,
miss
the
millions of
problem,
people.
the problem is, and we played the video, is that it is inconcisive. DNA is not precise. That's what the video literally said verbatim. So
Okay,
what you're gonna have to do is acknowledge that DNA is an unreliable
I'm not
source.
going to do that. I'm
Well,
not
hold
going to
on,
do
bro,
that,
brother,
Jeremiah.
hold on, brother.
Not going to happen.
Hold on, bro. It's an unreliable source concerning race and ethnicity, based upon your acknowledgement that it is not to be used for that purpose. Do you understand that, bro?
Okay, listen. So that we can iron this out. You can't go get a DNA test and say, because this is in my genome, this is my ethnicity, this is my race. That's been understood from the beginning. We talking about it tells you that. But what it does do, Yermiah, is show you your genome migration pattern. It shows you the population who shares the same genetics that you do.
All
So
right.
what
So
I so do
right
you
now,
understand? So I'm gonna make sure
hold on.
do you understand what I'm
No,
saying
I
on that?
don't. I disagree. In the video that we
You
just
can't
played,
disagree with that.
hold
You
on, brother.
can't
Yes, I
disagree
can.
with that.
Hold on, brother. Yes, I can. Because in the
Uh-uh.
video that I just played, it showed you that it is inaccurate. Do I gotta play the video again?
You can play that video 100 times. It is not going to listen to what I'm saying,
Hold
Jeremiah.
on, bro. Are you gonna yield to the
No, I
information?
am not, Jeremiah. I have yielded to what it says. Now you have to yield to what it does not say.
Okay,
You can't have that.
so
You're not going to make me dispute
okay, so
DNA. That is not going to
hold
happen.
on, brother. Let me play it again
You can,
because
Jeremiah, but
hey,
listen
brother, you gonna
to
yield to
what
this
I am
point.
saying. And
Hey, brother,
no,
you gonna hold on, brother. You are not a geneticist. You just a nigga that don't know a damn thing. Understand this, okay?
and neither are you. And I know more about the DNA than you do.
Okay, so you gonna have to argue with this video. That's what I'm
There
saying.
is no argument with the
All
video.
right, so let me play the part.
With those
Hold
points,
on. We're gonna play this part and you tell me if it's right or wrong.
hear me out. I've already told you what part of it is right.
All right, so it's saying the exact opposite of what you're saying, Carlos.
No, it isn't, brother.
All right, so let me prove it. Now just hold on a second. Hold
No,
on a
why you
second.
won't answer what I am?
Hey
Why you
brothers.
won't acknowledge what I am
Hey
saying?
brother, are you gonna hold on a second or not?
Yeah, I'll hold on, but it's still you. You
All
still
right,
not. You're
hold on
still
then. Hold on,
dismissing what
brother.
I'm laying
Hold
out
on,
there.
brother. Hold on. God almighty.
Remaining 1% contains everything distinct about an individual's ancestry. Commercial DNA tests utilize less than 1% of that 1%.
You hear that?
Uh-huh.
1% of
That's
the
all you need
1%.
because it has the information in it.
Hold on.
One chromosome in each pair comes from each parent. These halves join at conception, when a sperm and egg, each with only 23 chromosomes, combine. The story of our ancestry becomes muddled before conception. That's because the 23 chromosomes in a sperm or egg aren't identical to the chromosomes of every other cell in the body. As they go from a cell with 46 chromosomes to a sex cell with only 23, the chromosomes within each pair swap some sections. This process is called recombination, and it means that every sperm or egg contains single chromosomes that are a unique mashup of each pair. Recombination occurs uniquely
Somebody got to mute their
in
mic,
each
man.
sex cell, making two sisters' chromosomes different not only from their parents, but from each other's. Recombination.
Hey, LeGrant, you got to mute your mic, bro. God almighty.
Happens before conception, so you get exactly half of your DNA from each parent. But going further back, things get more complicated.
Do you hear that? Going further back, things get more
This is personal. This
Hey,
personal.
hold on.
Without recombination, you would get a quarter from each grandparent, an eighth from each great-grandparent, and so on. But because recombination happens every generation, those numbers vary. The more generations removed an ancestor is, the more likely they won't be represented in your DNA at all.
So the more generations, the more likely what your actual DNA is will not be represented.
Keep on going.
All right. So that means if somebody's saying they're from the Levant, DNA might not necessarily support that. Even though they're even though they're actually from the Levant.
Hold on, Yermiah. Hold on. Now we're seeing how far we going back with this. Now, here's the problem. I want to share my screen. Let me know.
Hold on, bro. Let me substantiate my point, then you can have it.
Okay.
Thank you. Wiggins, you got to mute up. All right.
For example, without recombination, just 1/64th of your DNA would come from each ancestor 6 generations back. Because of recombination, that number can be higher, though we don't know for sure how high. Or it can be as low as 0.
See that? It could be as low as 0, even though you actually come from the Levant. Do you understand that?
No, I don't. And I'm going to tell you why.
Hold on, but that's what it just said, Carlos.
And I'm going to tell you why, Yermiah.
Oh, my God. I'm listening.
Okay. So let's see if we can see my screen.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. Before you share your screen, you got to let me finish, bro.
What? Because I want to substantiate something.
All right. I'm just making these points as we go along, though. This goes against what you are saying.
No, it does not. But keep on playing it.
Hold on. Let me go back.
No, let's. So Yermiah,
because of
millions of
recombination,
people,
that number
0, it shows up in nobody. Is that what you're saying? Millions of people get tested and this ain't gonna show up. That's not gonna happen.
That's what it just said.
No, Yermiah, you're talking about an individual. We're talking about a whole population.
Hold on, Carlos. Hold on. That's not what it said. This is for each individual. Look. Hold on.
We don't know for sure. Just 1/64th of your DNA would come from each ancestor 6 generations back. Because of recombination, that number can be higher, though we don't know for sure how high. Or it can be as low as 0.
See that? Even though it could be as low as 0, even though you are actually from the Levant.
No, Yermiah, we're talking 6 generations back. How old is America?
200 years old.
Okay, got you. So Yermiah, if it can pick up that mine come from the Levant, why wouldn't it pick up all these other peoples that come from there? Can you explain that?
Yes,
Millions of people, it just missed millions of people and it got me. What are the chances of that, Jeremy? And we ain't talking about 1 or 2%. We talking about a very high percentage. How did that happen?
all right. So that's the point. It's saying DNA is unreliable. That's
No, with a small percentage, Jeremy, not a large percentage.
a. You're arguing with a genetics, not me.
No,
All
Jeremy,
I'm doing,
I'm
hold
not
on, bro.
arguing with the genetics.
Hold on, bro. All I'm doing is presenting the information.
I got you.
Why is this geneticist saying one thing, and here you are, who's not a geneticist and don't know a damn thing, arguing with a geneticist? What do you do
Okay,
that?
so let's see what they're saying and what they're not saying. This is two sisters with the same mother and father. That's two people. Jeremy, if you test
Hold on,
millions of
Carlos.
people,
Hey, LeGrant, you got to mute your mic, brother. Thank you. Go ahead, Carlos.
if you test millions of people are not going to be missed. That's what I'm telling you.
Hey, brother, this is per
And it
individual.
is a low percentage. 10% is that's a decent amount. But the other daughter has none. But here's what I'm telling you: you're not going to test a whole population of millions of people and zero show up to nobody. That's not going to happen.
That's exactly what it just said.
No, it doesn't. That's testing between two sisters, not millions of people that are taking DNA.
This is not testing between two sisters.
This is what it's telling you between these two sisters.
No, it's
One
not.
of them
Let me
had
hold on.
10% and the
Hey,
other one
brother.
didn't show any.
Hey, brother, I'm finna rewind this video. This don't have nothing to do with that. This is saying when you DNA test, it's gonna go back 6 generations. This is each individual. Anybody that tests, this ain't it goes back to the two sisters after it makes that point.
Do you know they got DNA tests to go back further than that, right?
Carlos, the DNA per this video is unreliable. That's the point where I'm trying to get to.
Okay, so hear me out. This is what you're talking about, which is, and then let me explain something to you. When you're dealing with something like 23 and Me, it only goes back 6 generations, right? They tell
No,
you that.
no.
Well, I'm telling you. So let me explain to you how this works. If you do a 23 and Me, it is surface level. It only goes back to six
Who
generations,
did you
and
do
it'll
your
show it to you.
who did you do your DNA through?
My first one was through 23 and Me. And I said, okay. Then I kept on researching, and it says there's genetics that go back further than that. So I had to go and ask 23 and Me to I signed for a permission slip to get my raw DNA. I took when they finally sent me my raw DNA, I took it to GEDmatch, which is the biggest database of DNA that even listen to this, Jeremiah, the feds use it, the FBI use it, they
Carlos,
all
stop
use
right there.
this.
Stop right there. I want you to not bring up crime scenes or paternal DNA tests don't have nothing to do with what we talking about
Well,
at all.
listen, wait a minute. Here's
Wait, brother.
no, you don't know what I know, Jeremiah, so you
Wait,
can't say
brother.
that.
Let me finish, bro. That does not prove that we can trust going back 1,000 damn years, bro.
Okay, so hear me out. Let me explain.
Let me finish, bro.
Okay, and then I want you to hear because you're mistaken in this.
All right, so I want to make this clear. Moving forward in this conversation, I don't want you to use paternal DNA nor crime scene DNA as evidence that we can trust that they can go back 1,000 years. Okay?
Okay, now
Don't do
moving
that.
forward, Jeremiah, you can't make that rule because you don't understand this DNA company. You don't understand them.
So,
So you
Carlos,
can't.
what do you have an example where they done this? What you're claiming they went back 1,000 years on Jed Match to prove crime
Yes,
scene?
yes. No, not for crime scenes. But
Okay,
what
so what
I'm
are you bringing
saying,
up Jed
so
Match
what
for?
I am bringing up is that GEDmatch is not a normal DNA company. This is a company that the government uses in order to
Okay,
solve crimes. This is why you got to sign paperwork when you go to GEDmatch, and you got to agree to their terms because
That's
they will let you
irrelevant.
know.
That's
Hold on.
irrelevant. That's
No,
irrelevant.
it isn't. No, Jeremiah. Let
Hey,
me tell
brother, nobody's
hold on.
arguing
You
for
got
a
to hear me
listen.
out, Jeremiah. Hold on.
Nobody's arguing for a crime scene, brother.
Okay, but no, but listen, hear me out. What I am simply telling you is this: this is not a 23 and Me company. It's
Okay.
so what I now,
Okay.
so listen to what I'm saying so that you understand why I'm bringing this up. This is the same site that the government has used to solve crimes because people have put in their DNA and
Okay,
they've gone
Carlos, why
back
are you
and
bringing
taught
this
people.
site, Carlos? You've said that before. What's the
Hold
reason
on,
for the
let me
site?
finish, brother. You don't interrupt Jeremiah. Why the
I'm
hell is you
saying, but
interrupting me?
you,
Let
nigga, we
me
all having this
finish. I
conversation,
am
nigga.
holding
Shut
a
your ass up,
discussion with
nigga.
Jeremiah.
But shut up, nigga.
Nigga, you shut up. Hell, you the one
I
that butted
mean,
into
you
this.
crying like a little
Nigga,
baby,
be
nigga.
quiet, nigga. I'm
What you
talking to
crying like a
Jeremiah.
baby for?
I am
Now, my
talking to
question to you
Jeremiah.
is, why are
No,
you
my
bringing this up?
question to you. Can I
Because
finish
I'm on
talking to Jeremiah?
Jeremiah's side.
Hey man,
Jeremiah,
y'all
can I
gotta
Yeah.
stay
finish
in the
talking to you?
spirit, man. Y'all gotta stay in the spirit though. Come on, man.
Hear
Carlos
me
don't know how
out.
to
Hear
do
me
that,
out.
though.
Can I
Carlos get
finish talking to
offensive
you?
when I ask
Can I
him a
finish talking to
question
you?
that,
No, because me and
see,
Jeremiah
he
are
does
trying
a
to lay
lot of
out something.
rambling and
Oh,
talking, but it has
Jeremiah,
nothing
can
to
you
do
tell
with
him to be
what you're saying.
quiet so I can finish explaining?
And that's where Jeremiah was
Hey,
saying.
Jeremiah,
You
he
say, hear
don't
you
need a
out. We're
code.
going to hear you out.
Jeremiah,
We're going
how
to
old
hear
are
you
you?
out. But can
How
you
old are you,
tell us
Jeremiah?
what does it
I'm
have to do
grown,
with the
man.
Jeremiah,
topic?
how
I'm
old are
grown.
you?
I'm
How old are you,
grown.
We're
Jeremiah?
going to hear you
I'm
out. We're
grown.
going to hear you out. We're going to hear you out. We're going to hear
What
you
is you,
out.
the commissioner
We're
now?
going to hear you out. But what does it have to do with the topic?
It will be quiet so you can
What does it
listen.
have to do with the topic? You keep
Be
repeating the same
quiet
thing.
so you can hear it.
We're going to hear you out, but what does it have to do before you keep
Everything,
explaining the same
everything.
thing over?
Now
Can you tell
everything.
us why
Now
you bringing up
please,
Jed Match? You've already said it does this, it's this company, this, that, and
can
the third. Now,
oh
what
my
does it have to do
God.
with the conversation?
Why don't you? The conversation is me and Jeremiah. Can
Yeah,
you
but I'm
be?
asking you, I'm here too, though. So to pretend
Well,
like
you
I'm
just
not,
came
that's
in. You
ridiculous.
have to wait. You have to
Yeah,
wait. You
I
just
know,
got
but
it.
I can't. Are you not going to
You
answer my
just got it.
question, bro? Are
No,
you not
no,
going to answer
I'm
the question?
answering Jeremiah's
Well, that's
question.
what
Hey, come on,
Jeremiah will
Wiggins.
Jeremiah's
Let's
tell
got
you,
keep the
though.
a
order,
It
man.
question
has
on.
nothing to
I
do
want to
with the
let him
Jeremiah,
finish.
can
conversation.
you
So
tell him to move out of the way,
let's
brother?
This is
finish. Go
Jeremiah's
ahead,
point,
Carlos, man.
bro. It has nothing to do with the.
Yeah,
Hold on,
why don't
Jeremiah. Hold on,
will you
You're
get
Jeremiah.
rid
right.
of
You're
this
right.
Jeremiah.
You're right,
echo?
Wiggins.
Hold
But
on,
we're gonna
Jeremiah.
substantiate that. Watch
No.
this.
No, we can
Think,
substantiate it, but there's
see,
nothing wrong with
who
us.
is you, the
Hold
bully?
on, man. Hold on, man. I don't care
Sit your
about
little
you
sawed
saying it,
off
man.
tail down somewhere. Jeremiah, let me
I
finish
don't care,
talking to you.
Jeremiah. The problem is this right here.
Little
We're
Arnold
hearing
was
what
on
he.
here trying to be the
Hey,
goose.
man. Hey, man, but hold on.
Now,
We're
now,
hearing
can I
what you're
finish?
saying. Wait, hold
Can
on.
I
We're
finish?
hearing what you're saying.
No,
Stop,
you don't
Carlos.
know what the
We
argument
are
is.
hearing what you
You
are saying
wasn't there
about
when
Jed Match.
Jeremiah started it, brother.
I heard Jeremiah say Jed
No,
Match
you
crime scene got nothing to do with the argument.
no,
Why are you bringing up Jed
you
Match?
don't. Will you be
I heard
quiet?
Jeremiah say that.
But
I
Jeremiah
heard
is
him say
grown.
that.
He can speak for
I'm
himself.
asking you for Jeremiah. I'm on his
If you
team.
Jeremiah don't need no teammate.
Yeah, man, but we agree.
No, then you can
Now
catch
tell
a
me
fade
why. Can
on the
you
side.
tell me and Jeremiah why are
No,
you bringing
I
this
am
into the
talking
conversation?
to Jeremiah. Can I finish, please, talking to you so
So
that
he
you,
don't really have a reason why he's bringing this in, Jeremiah. He's
Jeremiah,
wasting your time and my time.
Jeremiah,
Because all he is going to do is repeat
Jeremiah,
what you've already addressed, what I've addressed. But
Jeremiah.
now that you repeated it several times, what does it have to do
This
with the
brother
All
has
right, man.
conversation?
got.
Let's get back to it, man. Go ahead and finish up, Carlos, man.
Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you. So what I am simply telling you, Jeremiah, is this: the sixth generation is
I got
correct.
next, Jeremiah. I'm after Apostle Carlos, Jeremiah.
Thank
All
Okay.
you.
right, you
Thank
got
you.
it, Wiggins.
All right.
Okay,
I got a
so
lot to say about
the
this.
the the sixth generation. This is how far 23 and me can go back. That's all that they do. It's surface level. Six generations, we'll give it to you and we'll show it to you. That's as far as we go. But if you want to go deeper than that, then you got to go to specialists. When you go to specialists, they go further back than that, but they have to have your raw genomes. Once they get a hold of your raw genomes, and this is GEDmatch, they are way more intuitive than the surface level. And anybody can tell you that. And that's why I'm telling you that GEDmatch is not 23andMe. It's not that. It ain't no six generations. They go way back. They specialize in going way back. And that's why I told you this is who the FBI uses. This is why when you go on there, you have to sign a waiver because once you submit your DNA, it's free game. And if you committed a crime and they go through that database and they can match your DNA to a crime scene, buddy, you going to jail. It's people that actually work for GEDmatch who take and report crimes in DNA. This is how deep this goes. So what I'm saying is this. You're right about the six generations, but there's other genetic companies that go way deeper than that.
I wouldn't know what I know about my DNA if I only went through 23andMe, because 23andMe is just basic. When you go to the ones that are
You
more
repeating yourself,
intense,
Carlos. We get
okay,
it, bro.
so this is what I'm telling you, and then you'll get it. They go way deeper. They go into the ancient. They got the biggest database of all of the different populations. They're going to take your raw data and they're going to start seeing, okay, well, this is who 23andMe gave you, but let's go deeper than that. And they'll start pulling out all kind of stuff that you wouldn't even know is in you, because the regular
All right, Carlos.
the regular won't get it.
Do
Wait,
you
hold on, man.
realize?
Hold on,
Do
hold
you
on,
realize
Jeremiah.
that there's
Hold on,
over 7 billion people on?
Jeremiah, hold on, man. So what Carlos just did again with this Jed match thing, it absolutely has nothing to do with the point that you are making.
Yes,
And
it
what
does.
hold on, bro. I wasn't talking when you was talking. This is the part I'm saying you be pivoting to other points that has absolutely nothing to do with that point. Jed match ain't got nothing to do with the point that Jeremiah is making.
Yes, it
Okay, period.
does.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. It doesn't. Okay, you were better off sticking with the sources that, if you want to just say that you was taking you took your DNA from Jed Match nigga and loaded up to another source that you claiming that you have the right to say that by this source we can take DNA and say that we can show your ethnicity. Okay, because that's essentially all you're saying. That's all you did. You got all emotional. You got the cussing and everything just
No.
to
Yes,
say,
you
hold
was
on,
trying to,
bro, what you talking for, bro? I'm saying you got all emotional, got all in your feelings, and all you had to do was just say, I was just using this Jed match. It really ain't got nothing to do with the conversation, but I was just showing how some DNA companies only go so far, and this company I'm going with went further. That I got my DNA from Jed match, and I'm still standing on, which is what YIRMEYAHVS is pushing against. You're standing on that because you got your DNA from Jed match, you uploaded it to another source that give you more information about your DNA, which means where you can push for ethnicity. And YIRMEYAHVS is playing a video that clearly keeps pushing back against that thought that you cannot find ethnicity by tracing the DNA is what I'm listening to this video that YIRMEYAHVS is saying. He keeps saying it keeps saying totally different from what you pushing, yeah, Carlos, but you keep pushing it by the website, the method of the website, the method of the doctrine of the DNA that we hold, that people are holding to today, but they're not holding to the part that YIRMEYAHVS is pushing up, because if they were holding to that, then this DNA thing would fall to piece. It would fall apart, basically, is where my view is. I'm thinking YIRMEYAHVS is pushing. And if that is the case, I'm with him on that particular method. But I land right there on you.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I just at that part. It didn't even have to take long. I
Okay.
didn't take long, and I didn't
Okay.
repeat myself.
So let me ask a question. They did a DNA analysis, and the DNA came back and said that the people that are in the land that are saying that they are Jews, 97% of them have no direct bloodline to Israel, according to DNA. Would that be true or not?
I don't know, man. Like if YIRMEYAHVS point, this is new. I've
No.
never heard this. What
Listen to what I'm
YIRMEYAHVS
saying.
is saying. Wait a minute. Before YIRMEYAHVS played the video, I would go with you. Do you comprehend that? Because I've never heard this other side that YIRMEYAHVS is bringing up. So I don't know at this point. I got to go back and do some more studying to what YIRMEYAHVS is talking about. Now, it appears to me that the comprehension that he came to, I come to too, but it seemed like to me you don't. And it seems like y'all talking past each other, which is why I come in and say, is what you're addressing really addressing YIRMEYAHVS' position about the one? You said that's all it needs, but the video is telling you it's not all you need.
Yeah, it is.
Is that 1%?
1% contains the
I'm
information.
confused. And
1% contains
YIRMEYAHVS
your
is saying this is
information.
a geneticist, so I got to go study and see if this is a real
1%.
geneticist and everything that he's saying is true. But right now, based on this video, the nigga got a strong point right now.
Okay.
I haven't researched it, but He sound like he owns something.
Oh, okay, so here we go again. Here's a point that I'm making. Why is it that my DNA can show ancient Israel, the Middle East, but I'm supposed to believe millions of black people have taken the test.
Based on
It,
for 1%, based on 1%, Carlos, you're still
because that's
arguing from
all you
1%.
need. That's well, whatever percentage that you
Yermiah, is this
want.
true? Is this true, Yermiah? All we need is 1% to come to this conclusion? Because I thought
Yes,
Yermiah was saying no. He was
and
saying you're
no,
not
it
even
says
testing.
it only needs the
Ye-
1% to test.
Yermiah, is that true? I don't know. I don't know. I
So
thought he was saying, Carlos, the
here's the
video is
point.
saying totally different than what you were
No,
saying.
no, no. That's why they break down the genomes. So here's what I am saying, and listen to this argument very well. Why is it that I can take my test and out of millions of African Americans and show, wait a minute, you have a lot of Middle Eastern in you from the Levant,
So
Israel.
are you disagreeing with the video, or are you in
No,
agreement
I'm
with the
not
video, the
disagreeing with it. No, I'm
interpretation
not
of the
disagreeing.
video?
No, I'm not. Listen to my
Because
argument.
Yermiah,
Have always looked at me and said, "You look like you come from the Middle East." That don't shock me. Now,
but
if
I don't
my
know, man.
DNA
Boy, your DNA
proves it,
don't show you from damn Israel,
Yermiah,
man. Stop
Yermiah, I'm glad
lying,
you back.
bro.
Yermiah, what was you
yes,
saying? Now, Carlos
hold
is
on.
saying to
Let
me,
me finish.
wait a
Let me
minute,
finish.
Carlos, I got to ask Yermiah a question, man, because I'm confused now. Yermiah, is this video you playing against his position? Yes or no, Yermiah? Yermiah.
1000% against his
Okay,
position.
Carlos, so you can't tell me you agree with the video and then the video is against your position. That's a
Okay,
problem
so
right there, Yermiah.
okay,
He
so
told me
now let
he
me tell you
agreed
what
with the
I
video.
agree with. Let me tell you what I agree with. I agree with it saying the basic things that it said. However, here is the point that I'm making. Here is the point that I am making because that's already known when you do a DNA. Here's the point that I'm making. You want me to believe that out of millions of African Americans that have taken this test, that mine mysteriously shows all this Middle Eastern DNA and the other
Based on
millions of African.
1%. No, we don't want you to believe that. We're just talking about
No,
the
no,
model, the working frame.
no,
You're
listen
right
to,
by that model, Carlos.
listen.
Carlos,
I
you
want
are
you.
right by that model.
Thank
But
you,
Yermiah
thank
is
you.
challenging the model that you are right by. I don't think you comprehend that,
I
though.
do comprehend that, but here is my pushback. Hear me out. If what you believe is true, let's take it as it being true. How does my DNA out of millions of African Americans
Carlos, I just
not?
gave you the answer.
No,
Did
you
you
didn't.
hear it? He's going to
Because he
go
won't.
back to
No, he won't.
1%. He's going to go
Listen,
back to the 1%, which he's saying that
1% of the
1% is
DNA.
not enough. Carlos, but
Listen,
the video, but wait, man. Wait, Carlos, because you
why is
going to go
my
back to your
1%
D.
enough? Then why is my 1% enough?
We're not
Why is
arguing
my
that it's
one
not
percent
enough.
enough?
We're arguing the model, the
Okay,
method,
even if you
Carlos.
are,
He's
hold on.
challenging the whole method.
Well, we can challenge the whole method. Now we have a problem. Here's one
And he's
person who,
challenging it by 1% out
listen,
of
bro.
99%.
Okay,
That
that's
is, I
fine.
thought that was his argument.
Okay, so
I
here's,
listen good, Carlos. To you
uh,
acting like I haven't been listening to y'all
but
argue on this
but
conversation.
listen to my pushback.
Maybe Carlos, but
He's
maybe
not
are you
answering my
telling me I'm
pushback. He's not
but
arguing.
what's
He
the
won't.
pushback?
My pushback is this, and he's running from it. If what you're saying is true, Jeremiah, which you don't know nothing about DNA, why is it mine is showing Middle Eastern and all it, and now mind you, in the midst of mine showing the Middle Eastern, it's showing you're not E1B, 1A. You come from Eurasia. Then when I go deeper into the test, it shows all this Middle Eastern, which corresponds to Natufian and everything else. So why isn't this showing up in the millions of other African Americans who took this test? Why it doesn't show up with them? It doesn't show up because it's not there. That's my argument.
All right, so here's the problem, Carlos. What we're telling you is that DNA is unreliable.
You just can't
Okay.
do it.
Hey man, why? I ain't even said two words.
Because I want you to explain my pushback.
I'm, hey, brother. Are you gonna let me speak or no?
Yes, I do. I want you to explain.
All right, I'm
Listen to my.
finna, bro. I'm
Okay,
finna.
thank you.
What we're showing is DNA is unreliable. Okay, they are lying, and they are. It's like it's a roll of the dice with DNA. They're gonna tell you something that don't mean that it's accurate because they don't have, number one, enough DNA data in the database. That's number one, Carlos. They don't got the entire scope of DNA for the Earth, Carlos.
Of course they don't. Now, can I ask you a
Oh
question?
no, man! I need you to let me finish.
Okay, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. Then I'm gonna ask you a question, and I need an answer.
I need you to let me finish, though,
I
bro.
want you to finish, and then I'm gonna ask you a
I didn't
question and
interrupt
need
you.
an
Now you
answer.
gonna act like Wiggins towards me, right?
No, I'm gonna let you finish, but I want you to answer a question.
All right, man. So I want everybody to understand it's the
No,
sound of
don't
my
act
voice,
like
right?
Wiggins toward me, nigga. You mean you gonna act like the way you treated Wiggins towards me, nigga? That's what that means. Cause I ain't treated Carlos no way. I've been trying to get the come back to the conversation.
Now
Go ahead.
he accused you of something. I just use you as an example, brother.
Oh, well,
All
okay.
right.
How do you share a link, Yirmiyah?
You got to go down
How
there
how can I put
and
this in my? I want to share something.
you hit the button in the middle, and then it say start sharing screen.
All right, the
And
button
then
in
you
the
was
middle.
sharing your screen when you was scrolling on the web. I
All
was
right.
looking at your screen when I was talking.
Okay,
That's
I
why
didn't
I
know
hurry
that.
up and finish.
I can't
I
see it.
thought you was going to show it. You
That's what
can't
I'm.
see it, but we can. Yeah, but we can see it though
It say you're
when you do
sharing
it.
now.
All right, what does it show? Because I can't see it.
Well, no,
Well,
you're
no,
not
you're not.
sharing right now. You got to go down and hit the button at the bottom in the middle, and then it'll say start sharing screen, and if something pop up and say start sharing screen. So touch your screen, and then it should be a menu that come up at the bottom. Hit the button. There you go.
It ain't sharing now though, is it?
Wait, I think you stopped it though. Once you hit start
Start
sharing, you got to
sharing. Hold
minimize,
on.
and then
Start
minimize,
broadcast.
and then hit. You got to wait a second. Then it's going to give you the option to choose what screen you want to share. Like if you're looking at Facebook, if you're looking at the web page or something like that, you just click that and then minimize the screen.
Okay, so everything on your screen includes notifications will be recorded. Enable do not disturb to prevent. It's just
No,
spinning for 19, 21 seconds, but I can't see it. I can't see nothing
no,
because
you're doing it wrong, Carlos. You got to hit the button in the middle. Then it says start sharing screen. Then once it's saying start sharing screen, you can hit next, and then you wait a second after you hit next, and then what the menu is going to pop up, and maybe you can touch your screen, and then whatever screen you want to
okay, hold
share.
on. Proper Wiggins, if I send this to you, can you share it?
All right, send it to me. It's real easy, Pastor Carlos.
I don't never be on here doing all this, so I don't know why.
You only got like two or three buttons to push, really.
Every time I'm doing it, it's not. Okay, I just sent it to you.
All right, hold on. All right, let me see if I can share it. All right, great, man.
All right, do you see it?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, see if you can share that.
Okay, give me 1 second. Do you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
All right.
Okay, you hear me
Say
now?
view and reading mode. View and reading mode. Jews and Arabs descend from Canaanites. That's
Okay,
true.
where's Jeremiah at?
I don't know
All
where
right,
he
Proper
is.
Wiggins, can you start? Can you read the top of that if you don't mind? Read the read
Jews,
the read
Jews and Arabs
the paragraph
descend. Which one? You want to just
right there.
start from the top?
Yeah,
Jews and
Jews
Arabs
and Arabs
descend.
descend from Canaanites. Okay, go ahead and read the next.
DNA analysis from bodies found at several sites explain more than half of a century.
Negroes, can
Jonathan
y'all hear me, Negroes?
Okay,
Jonathan Layden,
Can you
January
Negroes
15,
hear
22.
me?
Yeah, we hear you, bro.
Yeah, we hear you. Okay, now read the next on it, so we'll see why I'm bringing this out. Read the next on that, Proper Wiggins, please. Thank you.
After examining the DNA of 93 bodies recovered from archaeological sites around the southern Levant, the land of Canaan in the Bible, researchers have concluded that modern populations of the region are descendants of the ancient Canaanites. Most modern Jewish groups and the Arabic speaking groups from the region show at least half of their ancestry as Canaanites. In the study published in Cell in May 2020, the researchers explained that they used existing DNA analysis of 20 individuals from sites in Israel and Lebanon, and then added 73 more, taking DNA from the bones of individuals found at Tel Megiddo, Tel Abel, Beth Makkah, and the Tel Hazor, northern Israel, Yehud, central Israel, and Bakwaka, central Jordan. By first eliminating individuals closely related to other individuals in the sample, then comparing the remaining 62 DNA samples against a database of 1,663 modern individuals, they were able to establish the genetic link to the modern populations. The ethnic group either still living where Canaan once dominated or from the area prior to moving elsewhere are largely descended from the Canaanites. Become a well, let me see. Canaanite relief in basalt depicting a lion. Okay. Canaanite culture was dominant in the southern Levant during the Bronze Age. I've read this article before several times. 3,500, 1,000, 2,000 BCE as Iron Age began. The Canaanite city stated faded. The Israelites self-identified as a separate group. As Volkmar Fritz speculates in Israelites and Canaanites, he speculates. The Israelites may have formed distinct living arrangements, establishing small villages on preferable land not previously settled and living mostly in four-room houses. Ultimately, the Israelites formed the state of Israel and Judah, while other biblical states, Ammon, Moab, Aram, Damascus, and Phoenician city-states emerged. Today, the region consists of Israel, Lebanon, Jordan, the Palestinian Authority, and southwest Syria. The study itself not only establishes that the ancient Israelites were descended from the Canaanites, but also establishes that the Canaanite people across the separate city-state of the southern Levant and over a period of 1,500 years were a genetically cohesive people. Okay, so you're
So
saying that
now you
Israelites
understand.
descend. Wait a second. No, I
Okay.
want to understand. I want to understand what you understand. Okay, go ahead. You tell
Okay.
me. What am I
So
supposed to
here's what
understand?
I'm saying. All of these skeletons that they're testing getting DNA from them. What I am
Okay.
saying is this: if you came from any of those people, even for Yirmiyaah to say, "Oh, you can't find nothing," Abraham's DNA still exists on this earth. It ain't like DNA ever leaves. You just got to find the right people. DNA doesn't dissipate; it's still there. Even you even spoke about in the last days, which was hard for me to believe until you showed it to me, that they're going to find the bones of patriarchs. You think when they find those bones, they're not going to test the DNA? They're going to. And it's going to get down to the nitty gritty. So, what I am simply saying is this: if you say that you're an Israelite, and we go back to the Bronze Age, and they got skeleton remains and DNA, if you do a DNA test, it ought to spring up somewhere. But Yirmiyaah is trying to say, oh, well, it'll miss people. It ain't going to miss millions of people,
Hey, that's
Yirmiyaah.
not what I'm saying. So
Can
can I
I ask a
speak
question,
now? Can I
Yummy?
speak
One
now?
question, Yummy. Do we have any biblical verses where, because he didn't move Israel descend from Father Abraham? Notice what he did was, now he said Canaanites, but then you go back and find out Father's Abraham, but Father Abraham don't descend from Canaanites. Okay, that's a fact. So I don't know. I'm confused with these arguments that we're making. Either Israel descend from Father Abraham, which is
Hold on, man.
Shemite, or
Hold
Israel
No,
on.
descend from Canaanites.
Canaanites
Wait a
are
minute,
dealing
man.
with the people in the land.
Hold on, man. Hold
Hold
on,
on, man.
Yirmiyaah, you missed it. I just read something.
I
You weren't
heard it,
listening.
man. I was listening to the whole thing. I want to respond, Wiggins, if you let me.
Yeah, but don't just tell me to cut my part off, nigga. I got a point I'm making. It's a fair point. It's a very
And
fair
I
point.
agree with you, bro. I'm finna expound on it if you let me.
Okay, go ahead.
That article was just about the stupidest article in the history of goddamn reporting.
Yeah,
Okay?
of course.
Hold on.
Of course it is, because it's
Hold on.
factual.
Hold on, man.
Anything that disputes him is
Hey,
stupid.
My bad,
Carlos,
yeah,
man.
my bad, bro.
Carlos, man, you gotta let me
My bad.
respond. I was quiet, bro.
Go get it, Bear.
Oh my God.
All right, go ahead, Yogi Bear. We want to hear this.
Oh man, you wearing off Jeremiah, man. He was cooking.
Now,
Come on back,
Yogi Bear, we
Jeremiah.
want to hear this.
Yeah, man. Again, that article was dumb as hell. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because Canaanites come from Ham. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob comes from Shem.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing what Wiggins was saying. So what people need to understand is that the land have been uh there has been multiple population replacements in that land. Okay. You finding some dead bodies from some damn Canaanites don't make the Israelites Hamites. Okay. That's why that's dumb as hell. And Carlos, it proves that you don't know a damn thing, right? So are you reading this article to prove to us that Israelites are actually Canaanites?
Yes, because they were in the land of
Oh
This
my
is
Canaan.
God. See, so
absolutely
Because
unheard
they
of.
were, listen to what I'm saying, because they were in the land of Canaan, and that's why they
Wow.
called them, all said they was all Canaanites, because Canaan was the promised land.
hold on. Canaan was not the promised land.
Yes, it was.
Listen,
No, but
Let's
listen,
read.
bro.
Let's read it. Let's
Hey,
read it.
this is
Let's read it.
hold
Let's
on,
read it.
brother. Hold on, brother. Uh, the Israelites, the Most High God gave us that land that was being called Canaan, but
Thank you.
that don't make Israel Canaanites.
If you live in the United States, aren't you called a U.S. citizen or an American? They lived
Yeah,
in Canaan,
yeah,
so they was
yeah,
called Canaanites.
yeah.
Which
no,
So,
but
all
you
right.
said
Thank you.
DNA. You
hold
said
on,
they descend from
hold
Canaanites.
on. So, what was they called 300 years ago
They was called Israel. They was called Jews.
in
300.
America, nigga? What was they called 300 years ago?
What do you? Make it more clearer. Come again.
Yeah, because America didn't exist 300 years ago. The United States didn't exist 300 years ago. See? So some land being renamed and reclassified, that don't make you that. Okay? So you're making a blanket statement calling Israelites Canaanites because the land was called Canaan. Don't make them Canaanites.
Not
Okay?
by
Wait, Jeremiah,
ethnicity.
Hold
Jeremiah,
on.
Jeremiah. That's one point, Jeremiah. But he
Oh,
also, the article I just read said they descend from Canaanites. Please attack that point.
yeah, you got it, Wiggins. Go ahead.
No. You cooking. I just wanted you to just throw that
Where,
in there.
where,
You
where
already, you already said
he's
it.
cooking
But he
a
brought up two
bowl of
points.
chitlins. A pot of chitlins is all he's cooking.
But
Listen,
he
listen,
brought
man.
you two. Go,
So
Jeremiah.
let's read it. So
Hey,
let's
listen,
read it.
brother.
Well, I
Between
already
me,
read it. Read what? I read it
Let's
already.
read it. Let's read
Wait a
it.
minute, Jeremiah, before I give up, before you go, Jeremiah, can you please address that? You
Because
already
I got to get
said
ready
that
to go ride this
Israelites.
bike here in a minute. We know that
Oh.
they're not Canaanites by nationality. They're called Canaanites because they're all in the same land of Canaan.
okay, but
Wait a
that's
minute. Now you going against your own
No,
article you
no,
just
no,
damn
no,
near
no,
read,
no, no.
Carlos. We
Let's
just
read it.
sampled
Let's
bones that
read
said
it.
that these are Israelites descend from these bones that are Canaanites.
Okay,
That's what
so
I was
let's read
arguing
it.
about,
So let's
Jeremiah.
read it. So let's
I'm,
read
I'm
it.
not supposed to read
So
that
so
again. You read it,
Abraham
man.
departed as the Lord has spoken to him, and Lot
Wait,
went with
Carlos.
him.
What reading what? Are we going by the
We gonna read it.
Carlos, are
No,
we so you're not going to address the article
no,
that
no, we're getting
Jeremiah
ready.
was
We get
stupid.
now. Listen
That
to us
Jeremiah
address
said
it.
was stupid.
Okay, so let's
Oh my
address it.
goodness.
So listen how this plays out. And Abram was
That's
75
not in the
years
article.
old
That's
when
not in
he
the article,
departed
right,
from
Carlos.
Haran. No, listen to the wordplay. Abraham took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all the possessions that they had accumulated, and the people that they had acquired in Haran.
But Carlos, that's not in the article,
Hold
brother.
on, wait a minute. And they set out for the land of Canaan, and they came to the land of Canaan.
This is unbelievable.
Then Abraham passed through the land to the place of Shechem, to the oak of Morah, and the Canaanites were in the land at that time that the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, to your descendants will I give this land. So he built an altar to the Lord who had appeared to him. So God tells him, you're coming to the land of Canaan. This is yours, even though there's other people that are occupying it. So my point being made once again is this. If you claim that you are from this area that is called Canaan, which everybody would have been called Canaanites because they was just in the land, then you and your DNA should show that your genealogy was in the land of Canaan. That was what it was called before Israel took it over. That is the word that they're still using because they're going back to the Iron Age before Israel occupied
Okay,
all
Carlos,
of it
can I
and
say
changed the
something?
name. So that's my
Carlos,
point. So
but
can
your point
somebody
is wrong,
show
Apostle
that they were
Carlos.
in the
Carlos, let
land
me
of
say this.
Canaan?
Carlos, let
So
me say
you got to
this. Because
hurry up because I got to
Israelites,
go ride this bike.
2 points. 2 points. I just want to
Now,
reiterate
do you
what
understand
Jeremiah.
my point?
Wait,
Do you
I do,
understand
and
my
I just
point
want to.
now?
Yes, and I'm going to
Okay,
show it to
thank
you
you.
by reiterating what Jeremiah have said. Israelites ain't never culturally been Canaanites.
Of course they're
First and
not.
foremost. Okay,
We
one
agree with
second.
that.
And second, the article we read, it wasn't dealing with Israelites being Canaanites by the culture. The article you had me read, which I've read many times, it deals with Israelites descending from Canaanites. That's what the article said, which is a straight contradiction against the Bible, who Israelites descend against. And I was going to ask the question, which I'm sure you probably can find something, but I want to know who are the Canaanites that the Israelites mix with outside of the Gibeonites. I
Well,
mean, like, who were the Canaanites?
Canaanites mixed with the Israelites all through and through.
I
Wasn't Judah's first wife
well,
a
give me,
Canaanite? Was Judah's
well, give
wife a
it.
Canaanite?
Okay, okay, well,
Was
give it to
Judah's
me.
wife a Canaanite?
I don't know. I
Yes.
think somebody said that before. Okay, what was Judah's?
Yes.
Let me see. Let me look and see.
Yes.
Let me look and see. So you got one woman that Judah is mixing with. Now, when we say they Canaanites, bro, you got it. I'm thinking like admixture, not just one person,
It
right?
is admixture, but
Okay.
Judah had a child,
What
a
biblical
Canaanite.
verses shows that the Israelites in the Bible were actually mixing with the Canaanites, admixture, having babies by them in
All
the
right, I'm ready,
scriptures?
baby.
Hey, this is exactly why the Bible don't deal with no DNA. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
The Bible says you are what your father is. It's simple and it's clearly to be understood. All right.
Mhm.
So I don't care if
Yeah,
you
that's
agree,
true.
Carlos. Let me say what I want to say, bro. This is why the Bible don't deal with this
I need to put my
confusion.
phone.
This confusion is being allowed in. Now everybody is everybody. But the Bible don't deal like that. All right. Numbers chapter 1, right? Verse 2 and verse 18. You are the pedigree of your father.
Well, listen. Here's what I'm gonna tell you, and I gotta go. They mixed with the Canaanites. So first you need to show that you was even in the land of Canaan. If your DNA can't show you was in the land of Canaan,
DNA
you
is
got a
not
problem.
it's not reliable, and we
Yeah, it
proved that.
is.
It's we
But we
proved it
just
was not
proved that they
reliable.
found
It cannot
bodies.
at the beginning of the video it showed you could show up anywhere. All right. So
Okay.
stop the
What's
madness, bro. You need to renounce and repent.
no, sir.
Stop telling people to do dumbass DNA tests, nigga, because it's unreliable and we proved
You
that.
scared?
Get the hell out of here and go ride your bicycle,
You
punk.
scared of DNA?
Oh boy, it's
You
getting hot
scared
in
of
here.
DNA?
It is getting hot.
You scared because DNA is gonna show you that you were, are, and always have
And
been a black African booty scratcher.
it ain't. All right. It's good for a
Yeah, it
paternal
is.
test and it's good for crime scenes, and that's it.
Well, we'll see if they
So
all
do
agree
you
with you,
agree? Do
Jeremiah.
you agree that DNA is not to be used to identify you racially or ethnicity? Your ethnicity.
Yeah, you just
All
can't take
right,
the
then. Well,
DNA and
shut
say
your
that's
ass
what you
up, man.
are.
Get out of here.
What you need, yeah, and you need to take a DNA.
Hey man. Hey
And these
man.
niggas is crazy, man.
Amen.
Carlos be off the wall, man. I don't know what to
Carlos
do with that brother,
disappeared
man.
too.
Yeah, he disappeared too, man. You heard me? I ain't
Oh,
Carlos
there
supposed to
everybody
disappear.
disappeared. Hey man, I sent the link in the chat to come on by StreamYard.
Okay, I'm coming.
Click
Let's
on it.
go.
Click on it.
Okay. All right, one.
Yo, anybody that's watching this video that want to get on a StreamYard that got something to say about the topic, you can come on in, have a conversation, join the StreamYard. Come on in and bring forth thy understanding and wisdoms and principles concerning the topic of DNA, which I don't agree with that the DNA testing shit because it's just so many heathens involved with it. The majority of those those companies are founded by Jewish European people that's giving you Negroes all kind of false damn narratives of who you are. This reinforcing more Psalms the 83 or the 83rd chapter, man. You know what I'm saying? Confirming us to be even more lost as we're awakening and coming to the knowledge of who we are. All of a sudden now, they come up with these DNA tests in the 2000s, early 2000s now. I mean, do y'all even think with the spiritual eye? Where was all these DNA tests before the early 2000s? All of a sudden now, it's this DNA craze. Everything is the DNA craze. Let me holler at my man Truth right quick. Hold on, let me talk to my man Truth. Right? Let me see what's up with Truth right here. Anybody, y'all want to meet my friend Truth? All right. Let's talk to my friend Truth. Check this out. Hey Truth, are you there? This is Lord Maharakal.
I am here, Lord Maharaja. What's on your mind today?
Having a conversation about DNA.
Ah, DNA. It's always a fascinating topic. Are you diving into something scientific, or is this more about personal heritage, or maybe even a debate you're having?
Yes, in the debate format, but I'm not debating it. I just want to have some historical records concerning the matter in terms of um when did this DNA thing started concerning you getting to trace your lineage back to France and these different islands and all this other stuff. What year was this thing started and who started these companies? Like ancestry.com and stuff like that.
DNA ancestry testing, as we know it, really took off in the early 2000s. One of the first big companies, Family Tree DNA, started offering tests around 2000. Then Ancestry.com jumped in with their DNA service around 2012, and 23andMe, which is also huge, launched in 2006. Since then, they've been refining the tech and expanding what they can tell you, everything from broad regional ancestry down to pretty fine details. It's a mix of genetics, history, and some pretty impressive marketing.
So before then, these companies did not exist.
That's right. Before the early 2000s, people relied mostly on paper records, family stories, and traditional genealogy. The tech to analyze your DNA for ancestry just wasn't accessible yet. Once the Human Genome Project made big strides, that opened the door. So it's been a pretty recent chapter in tracing our roots.
So there's a video on TED.ed that talks about the subject matter and how you cannot rely on the DNA tests that comes from these companies to determine your nationality going back thousands of years ago. The video is called "The Genes You Don't Get from Your Parents But Can't Live Without." Devin Schumer. I think that's the video. Let me make sure. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I'm not giving you the wrong one.
That sounds like a solid reference. If you want to explore that perspective more, or even discuss it in your debate, I'd say use it as a set of viewpoints. So if you need any more angles or historical pieces, I'm here to help you shape the discussion.
So, what is your research concerning the validity of the DNA test is concerning nationality and where you from and all these different things?
So DNA tests for ancestry can give you broad regional patterns, but they have limits. They rely on comparing your DNA to reference groups, modern populations. The further back you go, the fuzzier it gets. Nationalities like modern borders are recent constructs, and ancient populations didn't match today's nations. So while it's fascinating and often directionally helpful, it's not a precise map of exactly where you're from or your definitive nationality. It's a tool, just not the whole story.
Wow. Can you repeat that again?
Sure. In short, DNA ancestry tests give you broad regional clues, not exact nationalities. They compare your DNA to modern groups, and ancient populations didn't line up with today's borders. So it's helpful directionally, but it can't pinpoint an exact nation from thousands of years ago. It's a tool, just not the whole picture.
Very interesting. I really like that because it seems like people are relying on this as
I don't know what's tripping, man. My mic ain't working or something. Can you hear me? I can't hear you though. Interesting.
distinct set of genes completely separate from the 23 pairs of chromosomes we inherit from our parents. And this isn't just the case for humans like cucumbers. In all, each containing multiple copies of the
nation occurs an eighth from each great generations removed an ancestor is, the more likely they won't be represented in your DNA at all. For example, without recombination, just 1/64th of your DNA would come from each ancestor 6 generations back. Because of recombination, that number can be higher, though we don't know for sure how high. Or it can be as low as 0. So one sister isn't more French in the sense of having more ancestors from France. Instead, the French ancestors are simply more represented in her DNA. But the story doesn't end there. The tests don't trace the DNA of the sister's actual French ancestors. We don't have access to the genomes of deceased individuals from previous generations. Instead, these results are based on a comparison to the DNA of people living in France today. The tests look for genetic markers or combinations of genetic markers. These markers are short sequences that appear in specific places. The sister deemed more French shares genetic markers with people currently living in France. The assumption is that these shared markers indicate ancestors from the same place, France. It's important to note that results are based on people who've had their genomes sequenced, 80 to 90% of which are of European descent. Many indigenous peoples are barely represented, if at all. The test won't reveal heritage from people not represented in the database and shouldn't be used to prove race or ethnicity. And as more people get sequenced, your results might change. Looking further back, you may get a result like 2% Neanderthal. Looking further back, might change. More people get sequenced. Race won't reveal heritage, are barely represented, if are of European descent. Many indigenous peoples are barely represented, if at all. The test won't reveal heritage from people not represented in the database and shouldn't be used to prove race or ethnicity. And as more people get sequenced, your results might change.
I can't hear you, Art.
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Hello, 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 hello. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Dang, I hope I was doing all that talking. What I heard. Damn thing I said. Hello. Well, I'm in the worlds now. Can you hear me, Jeremiah? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Dang, I don't know what. I probably was talking in or what. Nobody can hear my worlds. But what I was saying is, I know you was you able to hear the video though?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, man. So I played that part of the video and it said you should not use this to try to discover thyself, basically. Let me see. Let me go back right quick. Let me go back right quick. Let me go back right here.
Many indigenous peoples are barely represented, if at all. The test won't reveal heritage from people not represented in the database and shouldn't be used to prove race or ethnicity. And as more people get sequenced, your results might change.
Wow. That was a nuclear bomb, man. And that's from a credible, you know what I'm saying, source of people that, really scholarly and things of that nature on TED. Yeah, so what's your synopsis or conclusion of the matter, brother? You know what I'm saying, about the conversation with Pastor Carlos. What's up, E? What's going on? Hold up. Hold up.
Hey,
You
can
on
you
here
hear
two
me?
times. Yeah, you in here two times.
I'm in
Which
there
one are you?
twice. I'm the one
Yeah,
with the logo.
yeah, I closed you off with the other one. So
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, man. So I mean, the whole thing is just brings about why we find ourselves in a place of confusion, and they are okay with the confusion. You know why? Because Deuteronomy 7:6, the Most High God has a chosen people, and that's the problem, right? So now DNA is in the hands of our oppressors, and they have shown themselves to be liars and fathers of lies, right? We're supposed to trust them. We're supposed to trust what they're telling us. No, we don't have to trust anything. We look at the curses of Deuteronomy 28, and then we utilize anthropology, which allows us to. Was you able to capture all that about the anthropology piece?
Um, nah, I don't know. Maybe so you want to play it again or something?
Nah, it ain't on the video. We had the discussion. We was talking about anthropology,
When you're showing
and
all the books and the records and things of that nature, stuff that you
yeah,
have.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good piece, man. Showing. I don't know if we maybe you want to do it again. I'm not sure if I caught all of that. But I know in the beginning I didn't record the actual chat room. I had to get it together. I had to actually sign into Messenger. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely got the books, man, which you should display.
Well, my whole thing is that there is a reliable resource on how to substantiate ancestral lineage. You know, and when you're dealing with a people that are lost, step number one, this first thing is, why are we called Negro? Why are we called African American? Why are we called Black? When Asians, people from China are called Chinese. People from Japan are called Japanese, right? People from Scotland are called Scottish. People from England are called English, right? So they have their ancestral culture that connects them to a landmass and a culture. But the fact that we don't have that, and we have been told repeatedly that it doesn't matter, then they want to point to someplace in Africa. But if you put a gun to Carlos' head and asked him, which people of Africa do we come from, he couldn't tell you. So that alone is evidence that of who we are. We are the people who have lost. That's why it says, gather yourselves together, O nation, not desire, Zephaniah 2 and 1.
Right. Right. And the Bible talks about, and I quoted Isaiah 1:5, the ox knows his owner, and the ass is master crib, but Israel do not know, neither do they consider. You don't even want to consider it. Everything is in opposition of us being the children of the Most High. You feel what I'm saying? The Most High said we was going to discontinue from his inheritance, which he had given us. See what I'm saying? The Most High said he's going to take away our staff. You know what I'm saying? Our state, all these different things. The Most High is going to totally eradicate and destroy the children of Israel in these last days. But the Most High says he's going to gather us as the dry bones in the valleys. The reawakening of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You see what I'm saying? But they don't want us to awaken. They don't want us to awaken. They want us to stay in the abyss, man. You know what I'm saying? And then you stand on this DNA. He's been standing on this DNA for so long. And now all of a sudden no. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it
It's
clearly
crazy.
says that you cannot use it to find race or ethnicity while simultaneously trying to force us to take a DNA test to prove our race and ethnicity. Make it make sense, man.
Right. Man. But man, once again, brother, you did an excellent job bringing forth the information as usual. You know what I'm saying? Brothers just don't want to take the corrections, man. See what I'm saying? You see, I'm trying to find my nemesis to put up there. Can't find my nemesis, man. What's going on? This ain't right, man. Well, yeah, man. So we had a little mini discussion, you know what I'm saying? You know, be Yeremiah. Please say the Yizars, right? I'm gonna have to cut him out because he was getting chopped up. You know what I mean? And yeah, it was a little discussion, man. These brothers always having these conversations, man. Brothers always putting in the work spiritually. You know what I mean? Shout out to these brothers for doing what they do. And I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I just want you to come and do a close out with the joint.
Yeah, man. I want people to know this, man. That there is a way to research our ancestry. There is a way to follow migration. There is a way that you find us being identified in Africa, in East Africa, in North Africa, in West Africa. You find us in Spain and Portugal. Then we get expelled 1492. We get expelled, get placed into Africa, in Western Africa, and then the transatlantic slave trade starts 1619. So from 1492 to 1619, we established ourselves, communities, marriages, families being raised from 1492 to 1619, and then we were brought to America in cargo slave ships. It is the greatest story ever told. What they want to do is they want our savior. They want our God, right? They want our salvation, but they don't want to have nothing to do with the actual people of who you ignorantly call Christ. Mashiach Yahushua Ba Shema Mashiach Yahushua, right? They don't want the culture. So they want the title, they want the name, but they don't want the culture because that requires discipline, restraint, and a complete separation from this world. And they don't want that. You understand? Um, so I just want to encourage everybody that there is scholarship to help us substantiate it. I got some great books that we're gonna go into, and just to kind of elaborate. A brother accused me of showing a book but not going into the book. I showed the book, so how do I know what's in the book if I never went into it? You understand? So what people don't get is that it takes hours upon hours to go into these different books to break this stuff down. People don't have patience for that. So I give you the sources so you can do it yourself. And we put presentations together that you can follow, right? So if we already been on 2 hours, and you expect me to go into each book that I show, which I can do that, but the show wasn't predicated around that, man. So stick with us, man. More information to come, man. All praise and glory to Abanawi Yahweh Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shai.
Abanawi Yahweh Shem Hamashiach Yahweh.